Oh, hello. um, so, I told you in my last video that I was going to make a video about a letter I received from someone who used to be in my congregation when I was still going to meetings or still a Jehovah's Witness. So, yeah, this is interesting. So, first of all, I'm going to read you guys a letter and I'm going to start with a disclaimer saying that I don't want this video to come across as if I'm bashing anybody. The last thing I want is my channel to be full of petty stories about things that happened between me and other people while we were witnesses, okay? Because I kind of view things now as any misunderstandings and anything that happens in life. While some of it can be said to be directly related to being in that religion, other things are just social, and you're going to have problems with people no matter what you are in life or where you are in life. So this is not to bash the person, but I do want to read the letter and tell you the story. And the reason I'm doing this live, like I said in my last video, it's just easier for me. I'll do it live, I'll get it done, I'll post it right away, and then don't have to worry about it. So, I was at work one day, and I saw this envelope left on my desk with my name on it, and I was like, wonder what this is. And I opened it, and it read, Meg, I hear that you have a little boy. You must be very busy. This is a letter to you asking for your forgiveness. When things went so sour, we should have remembered that you were the child and we were the adults. I was just so hurt, as you were like a daughter to me. You have to believe that I was going to give you a raise and much more. It just wasn't the right time. If what happened between you and us is the reason that you stopped serving Jehovah, don't allow that to be the case. Your life is very important to Jehovah. He loves you and wants both you and your little one to live forever. Our message to the public is changing from an invitation to learn to invitation to learn because this is your warning. This was brought out in Brother Morris's 111th talk from the annual meeting. In other words, we are not going to be calling on people where there's no progress. For example, having a magazine route or a study that doesn't progress. Both are being dropped. Time is running out. I will have to answer for my part in this. No one gets away with anything. Satan is the only one who won. He got you to stop serving him, and he got us to miss many nights of sleep over the years as we keep living or keep thinking about all the chaos. As a business owner now, you might understand what I went through. Still no excuse. We were the adults and you were the child. I do really hope that one day you will return and we can be sisters again. Maybe then you will find it in your heart to forgive us. Okay. So that was the letter. And yes, I noticed the comment there. Time's been running out for so long. Yeah. No kidding. No kidding. I heard that my whole life. So anyway, wow, there's a lot to unpack. So I'm gonna just try to quickly tell you guys the story surrounding this letter. All right. So I worked for this woman, and she trained me to how to do what I do today. So I might as well just say it. I'm a dog groomer, and I worked with her. I started working with her when I was like 13. All right. I was very young, and I worked with her until I was 18. She started training me to groom when I was about 16, but before that I was just bathing and drying dogs. She was also obviously in my congregation. Now, when I started working for her, I was getting pretty much pennies. Not very much money. At first I was getting $5 an hour to work with her. Now, I also didn't have my social insurance number at the time, which is what you need to have to be able to get stuff taken off your check and government and blah blah blah. So it was pretty much under the table at first until I got my stuff sorted, and then she paid me the minimum wage. And before I left working with her, the thing was I was working 2 years doing two bull mastiffs and Great Dane. Awesome. Yeah, they're awesome dogs. Anyway, before I left working with her, I was grooming for like 2 years, and I was getting really good, and she would go on all these vacations and holidays and whatever she would do, right? And because she had recently got remarried and she was having fun with her new husband, you know, I get that, whatever. But she had all the money to do that kind of stuff, and she relied on me as being another person in the hall, so I wouldn't steal from her. You know, I was the only one there who was a witness, so I pretty much did everything while she was gone on her vacations, and including looking after her house and all kinds of things that go up above and beyond my job description. And I was getting less money than everyone else there. So I was kind of upset, obviously. And when I started to get pretty good at grooming, I'm seeing your guys' conversations, yeah. When I started to get pretty good at grooming, I asked for a raise. And I asked for $1 raise, so not very much, but $1, because I was hoping that that would be good. But she didn't want to do it, and she said I wasn't good enough and all this, so I proved to her that day that I was, because there was 4 breeds of dogs she said I couldn't do. And I said, no, I definitely can do them. I know how to do them in their breed cuts. So I proved it, and it just so happened that the 4 breeds she mentioned was coming in that day. So I did all 4 of them. And I did a good job as far as I'm concerned. So, and she didn't say I did them wrong or anything like that, but she just said she wasn't going to give me a raise. And she said something to the effect of, well, if you worked at Walmart, you wouldn't be getting this much. When I was like, well, this isn't actually like Walmart, but okay. So I knew I wouldn't get a raise at that time anyway. And I kind of started to get upset. I mean, I really liked her as a person. She says she viewed me as a daughter in this letter. I didn't view her like a motherly figure, but I definitely viewed her like some sort of a mentor, you know. And I liked her as a person, and as time went on, I just felt like, okay, I'm just starting to feel resentment, and I think I need to quit. I need to quit working for her because I'm getting upset, feeling resentful, and I don't want to start disliking her. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna quit. And I knew that she would be a bit upset, but you know, I just had to do it. So I wrote a letter to her when I when I went to quit. And now keep in mind, guys, I still have this letter. I found it one day when I was helping my parents clean up and do some deep cleaning of their house and organizing. And I was like, oh my gosh, you still have this letter? My mom kept it. So I'm gonna read to you what I wrote, and just keep in mind that I was a witness at the time, so still very much indoctrinated. I'm not gonna say her name, so dear blah blah blah, I'm writing you this letter because it's too hard to say what I have to say in person. I'm quitting the shop. I'm starting. Oh, my baby. My baby hit her head, guys. She's been crawling around. Hold on. Shh, 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 shh. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. I don't know if this is gonna work. There we go. I'm quitting the shop, starting at another shop. If you want me to work until the end of the month, I can. Or you can let me know if you only want me for a couple more weeks. This person did not seek me out, so don't get upset with them. Please don't take this personally either. I realize you don't have the money to give me a raise, and you have too many workers for me to get the hours I need. I had to get a different job, or I couldn't afford my personal bills, plus gas money, food, recreation, and I definitely couldn't afford to do anything for myself at the end of the month. As you know, my goal is to eventually a regular pioneer, and I'm not willing to work full time. So it's nothing personal. If I could afford to stay with you, I definitely would. Thank you for your training. I will only move forward and get better with practice. All right? So that's what I wrote. With love, Meg. All right? And I really wanted us to stay friends. I really wanted things to go well. But it just was... she got very mad when I quit, basically. So I don't want to go into incredible amount of details because it would be a long story if I did. But she was very, very pissed with me. And pretty much just started treating me like crap. And the whole congregation was divided over this ridiculous situation of me just quitting working for her. And she tried to make me feel bad about it. We did sit down at one point to try to work things out. And she tried to shame me and make me feel like I was greedy because I quit. You know, all over $1, she said. And I was thinking, well, you know, yeah, all over $1, but that was on your end too. All you had to give me was $1. But she was just, that's exactly what it was. Exactly what it was, oh, thank you. I know my baby's adorable. Anyway, is she couldn't take advantage anymore, and that's why she was pissed. But she had to try to make me feel bad about it because the cognitive dissonance, she just couldn't accept, you know, in her own mind how badly and how much advantage she was taking over the situation. You know, she couldn't accept that about herself, so she had to make me the bad guy. And I understand that, and I understood that at the time. And she wanted me to apologize and come groveling, and, you know, but she was treating me so terrible and so poorly when I really, really didn't want any of it to go down that way, that I just was like, no, I'm not gonna apologize. You know, so I got upset too. Yeah, I did. But I didn't go on blabbing about the situation to anyone in the congregation. But everybody knew about it, of course. And I didn't speak ill of her. I just made sure I was, you know, it's ironic that she keeps saying I was the child. Because in the situation when it all went down, she was the one behaving like the child. But whatever. I'll accept it. I was a child. I was 18, but I guess that means I was a child. So it was just a ridiculous situation. And when we did get together to try to resolve our differences, eventually after a few months went by, she just kept trying to shame me. She never apologized for any of her behaviors. And she said I was greedy. And she gave me a letter that was full of nasty things, and my parents got so mad they went to the elders about that letter, and it was just such a ridiculous gong show and unnecessary. But eventually it just got dropped, and I just said what I had to say. I said, well, I'm really sorry if me quitting hurt you, but I had to do it, and I'm sorry if you're upset about it, but that's all I can say. I'm not sorry I quit. You know, and that's as much as I could say, and I was willing to say, and I feel like I didn't really do anything wrong. So, yes, it was kind of hell, and it was unnecessary, but the thing is I kind of got over it really fast, because, sorry guys, I got over it really fast, because I didn't really care. Like, like there was only so much I could care, and there was only so much I could do. So this happened, and eventually it all just kind of faded off into the background. And it's funny that she thinks that maybe I left because of her, because I didn't leave until at least a good 2, almost 3 years after this whole incident. And by that time, it was long forgot about in my head. So when I first got the letter, I couldn't help but think, wow, if they really think, her and her husband really think that they have that much, power over my decisions to stay in a religion, then they've got a pretty swollen head. Pretty big egos. But see, that's what witnesses are taught to think. That's how they're taught to think. If somebody leaves, and decides not to come back, it cannot at all be the fault of the organization or be anything on their part that caused us to decide, maybe I just don't want to go back. Maybe life's better without that whole part of it, No, that's impossible, and that's not ever going to be the case, right? It's always going to be either the person had to be stumbled by somebody, or they just want to do wrong and commit all these sins, and yeah, it can't be a legitimate reason. And clearly in their letter, they're illustrating that that's exactly what they think. There's no legitimate reason. And so, yeah. So that whole first part of the letter, calling me a child, you were the child, and blah, blah, blah. If you stop serving Jehovah, don't allow that to be the case because of us, and your life's important, and he wants you to live forever. And that's like, that's to me thinking like, now, okay, are you guys trying to scare me into going back? Like, oh, don't forget, you will die unless you go back. You and your children. She doesn't know I have 2 kids. I have a son and a daughter, but whatever. We're all gonna die if I don't go back, right? So maybe they were told they stumbled me. I think that she probably just thought she did. I don't really know. Hey guys, I might have to finish this at another time because, of course, little miss here is pretty upset. So I'm going to come right back once I get her calmed down, alright? And I'll finish my story. Talk to you in a bit.